How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. Somebody threw a bottle of mayonnaise at me. I said, "What the hell, man?" Get it? Hellman's mayonnaise. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN. We saw a strong recovery inside of the market, but we see OCGN said, well, you know what? I'm going to have a red day. And many people are sending me messages. What do you think is happening? Can we get your thoughts? It has been a minute since you did a video. Yes, I did have some family stuff we were taking care of, but of course, I'm going to make sure I got this video out. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important, it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $5.40, being down 6.25%. On the low, it tested $5.25, and then on the high, testing $5.61. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 13.326 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days at 15.683 million shares. So one thing we noticed right away, we did have a little bit below the average in regards to volume, but there was a good amount of pressure on the stock. As you can see, ended up closing red on the day. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 32.38. So yes, being in that oversold territory. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And we pointed this out in the previous video that OCGN has been on quite a bearish trend and is continuing to make lower lows. As far as where we tested on the day at $5.25, this is an area of support that we've seen in the past. But if we end up actually breaking through it, then of course I want to see some strength right here at the $5 level. If we break through $5, then potentially we can start visiting right here around the $4 level. But keep in mind, I don't see it going any lower than $4 unless we get some really bad news. And also at that point, the RSI would be extremely oversold, so you'd expect that there'd be like a dead cat bounce of some sort. Now, when we take a look at what the bullish case scenario would have to look like, we'd have to come back to reclaim the $6 level. Now it has become a psychological level, because on the high for today, we ended up testing $5.61. So going into tomorrow, you're going to want to see a move above this and it being able to actually get to $6. There could be a good amount of selling pressure here, and this is why I say you want to keep an eye on this level. If there's a lot of buying pressure, then of course I'd want to see us get past 6 and then see how well we would do when we start reaching this next resistance here at $6.30. So that is the bullish case scenario. So as far as going into tomorrow, you're just going to want to see OCGN try its best to hold up the $5 level, because if it doesn't, then you guys already know what the downside looks like. So let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for OCGN. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 54.40%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 3.77 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 650,000, updated 40 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 1.56%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the second, it was at 47.79, and then for the close of the third, it was at at 54.40. So what this tells us right away, there's a lot of negative market sentiment around the stock, but it also does tell us that OCGN has short squeeze potential. So this is part of the reasons why you want to keep an eye on this play, especially if we end up having any catalysts coming through. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 11.31, and then on the outflow, it was at 15.11. So we had an outflow day, and keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. When we take a look at the large side for the inflow side, we could see it was 0 on the medium, it was 6.72, and then on the small, it was 4.59. When we take a look at the outflow side, and we can see for the large, it was 0.49. On the medium, it was 10.24, and then on the small, it was 4.38. Then when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, December the 6th, it being that negative outflow of 487.74. When we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders, which represents the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. So of course, when we had that low dip of 525, I can see many people are like, hey, I'm going to be buying up some shares. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, though, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which we just covered, of course, we had more selling than we had buying, and this tends to represent institutions. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.72%. So one thing that is very clear, we know there's a lot of traders that are going in and out of this play. We also know there's a lot of shorts, which contributes to its overall volatility. And there's also many people who are selling out of their positions due to the fact that OCGN has consistently been going down, making lower lows. And of course, the reaction in the market is people just saying, I don't want to be in this stock anymore. And also coming closer to the end of the year, I'm pretty sure there are many people who are probably down in OCGN and just want to write this thing off for tax purposes. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, when I was looking at my watch list, there were many vaccine related type of plays that were down. This included Pfizer, this included Moderna, BNTX, and of course with OCGN, it was down as well, but it was down the most percentage wise. So right away, what we know as far as for overall market sentiment, it is a lot more negative for OCGN. And we could also see this when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. Also, when we took a look at the technicals, it is continuing to make lower lows. And this is why I always say you want to wait for price discovery. You want to wait for it to actually find a strong base. It hasn't done that as of yet, and that's why I said inside the technicals, you want to see $5 hold up. If it doesn't hold up, then we could possibly get down to the $4.30 level. So this is one thing that you want to be aware of. And if you are a trader, you'll be able to make money off of this in either direction. I know many people told me, hey, I've been buying puts, I've been shorting the stock. And at the end of the day, if you're making money, I am not mad at you. But I also do know there are many people who have been averaging down. And like I've said in many videos, wait for the price to find itself before taking a strong position. The last thing that you want to do is catch yourself in the middle of a falling knife. So let's wait for OCGN to find itself. I did mention that this stock can go to the $6 to the $7 range when it was around $9, and many people gave me flack for that. And look where we're at. Right now, we're at 5, and we're fighting to actually stay above it. And this is why I have not taken a big position whatsoever. I want to wait to see what the stock actually does when it decides to have a reversal before going in with a position. We also do know it is catalyst driven. So the more delays that we get, or if we don't get any news, then you're going to end up seeing some more pressure on the stock overall. So this is one thing you want to be aware of if you're inside of this play, and this is why I emphasize doing your homework and doing your due diligence. This is so crucial, especially since we've been in some choppy markets. You're seeing a lot of medium cap and small cap stocks that are getting slaughtered, and OCGN is easily one of them. So continue to keep an eye on this play. Keep your ears to the streets in regards to news. But as far as what's been going on with the delays, it's frustrating. And I said that in a previous video as well. These are just one of the reasons why you have to roll the punches and not rush when it comes to buying in with shares. We know how this stock moves. Let's stick to the game plan. Let's not be naive. Do not get fooled by anyone on social that's telling you, well, you know what? The time is to buy now. No, it isn't. You got to wait for the price to actually stabilize. I want to emphasize that over and over again because I don't want you guys buying in and saying, well, you know what? It is super low. No. Wait for that confirmation, all right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.